Hello everybody, my name is Zen and welcome to our guide for Story Mode Thrasher, the third boss inside Scum and Villainy. This fight is a single phase fight but has a high focus on killing additional enemies that will be spawning throughout the encounter. This boss is really simple and very easy once you have learned how all the mechanics work. Thrasher himself has three abilities. The first is a conal cleave attack that can hit pretty hard on anyone who isn't a tank, so try not to stand in front of him. The second ability is a front conal AoE knockback. It does minor damage, but it will knock anyone standing in front of him up into the air, then pushing them backwards a reasonable distance. His last ability is called Roar. He will cast this directly after using his knockback, and it will channel for a few seconds, dealing lots of AoE damage. Throughout the fight, a group of 3 snipers will spawn on the wall surrounding the area that you fight him in. These snipers will attack random raid members and should be focused down as quickly as possible. If they are alive for too long, they will enrage, which spawns turrets around the room, and these turrets will wipe your raid. The last mechanic during this fight is the firebug. If a raid member gets targeted by the firebug, their character will have an obvious blue icon on them. The person who gets targeted should quickly run to the edge of the room and wait for the firebug to come to them. Once he gets there, he will kneel down and place a fire debuff on the ground. It is then advised to get out of this as soon as possible since it does a fair amount of AoE damage to anyone standing in it. The strategy for this boss is really simple. Start by pulling the boss towards the middle of the room, but facing him away from everyone else. That way they won't get cleaved. Shortly after pulling, a raid member will get the firebug debuff. Have them run to the wall and place the debuff away from the group. We always try to place ours near the gate or outcroppings on the wall, since it will keep it out of the way for everyone later on in the fight. After the firebug spawns, the 3 snipers will spawn in one of the 4 locations on the wall shortly thereafter. You can easily have your ranged DPS burn them down quite quickly, although if you have a lot of melee DPS, there happens to be a way to get onto the wall in order to kill them. The first is the most obvious one. If your melee happens to have a charge, this is the easiest way up. If they do not, you can easily get up to the wall by utilizing the boss's knockback ability. He will do it shortly after spawning the snipers, and the tank can position the boss so Thrasher is facing the snipers. The melee DPS and anyone else who would like to get on the wall can then just move in front of the boss. Once the knockback happens, anyone standing in front of the boss will be knocked onto the wall, allowing melee to access the snipers. After Thrasher does his knockback, your off-tank should taunt the boss, which will prevent Roar from being channeled repeatedly. We let the tank who gets knocked back help kill the snipers, since it will allow your DPS to focus back on the boss quicker. You should get into the habit of moving the boss to where the snipers spawn. This allows anyone who is going up onto the wall to get to the snipers quicker, but it also prepares you for a mechanic that you'll end up facing in the hard mode version of the fight. It's also worth noting that the snipers can be stunned to help slow the damage they are doing to the raid, and abilities such as Carbonize are really great for this. If you do go up onto the wall, there happens to be healing packs that you can walk over, and doing so will grant you a very large amount of HP. This will easily save you if you are about to die. Otherwise, you should probably stand on the edge of the wall so your healers can still reach you while you are up there. Repeat all of these steps until the boss is dead, and enjoy some really easy loot. On that note, leave any feedback or discussion in the comments below, subscribe to us on YouTube, and we shall see you guys next time.